Welcome back to We're Having Fun. I am Mark. Hi.
Can you let me know?
Hello. It's me, Mark, the best podcast guy in the world.
Wait.
Back again.
Mike? Is that what you said?
Yes. Yeah. Microphone. That's my full name. Mm-hmm. Who are you?
Sorry, I'm just shaking my head at that awful joke. Hi, I'm Krista.
Well done at saying your name. Let's see. What's happening in the world? We got it. Ladies and gentlemen, we got it. I need to make a note just to make sure. News. What's going on?
What is going on?
I don't know. Nothing.
Okay, nothing, I guess. All right.
Nothing really.
Good talk.
Marvel did put out a website. My brother notified me about this. You can log in with a password and see the first 4 minutes or so of Secret Invasion. We haven't watched it since it's apparently coming out in like a week and a half.
Yeah, so it's
which I was not aware of.
What's the point?
Yeah. I'll
just wait.
Surprised. Yeah. So, yeah, that's if you want to go watch it, you can find it. We're not giving you all that stuff.
I wasn't sure when exactly Secret Invasion was coming out, so I had to Google it. And when I Googled just Secret Invasion, it said something about it. And it had like a link to the website and everything.
There you go.
Just Google it.
Google it, chef.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then, if we don't have news, I guess we can just get into it then.
Sure.
Into our movie this week. The highly anticipated fourth Indiana Jones movie. Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull Vodka. Brought to you by Dan Aykroyd. Who was in an Indiana Jones movie.
He was.
He was. But not in this one.
No.
But a lot of people were. All right.
What is with us today? What is this?
It's a late record on a different day.
Yep.
So it's going to be a weird one.
Somebody has to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
That somebody's me.
It's you. Hi. You have to work.
Yeah. I was going to say, I'm not going to say I'm the problem because I'm not.
Well.
Rude. Okay. Yeah, so we finally got around to watching this one.
We did. We finally earned it.
Before. I've seen it before once.
I've seen it once in the theaters. Did you see it in the theaters?
Yeah, I sure did.
Nice. I was with my parents, I think.
I was probably with my mom.
Yeah, and...
that was the only time I wanted to see it.
Yeah, I remember not being too happy with it.
Yeah.
First time I saw it.
Yeah.
Pretty much the same at this point. I was kind of hoping it would, like, surprise me.
Yeah. I mean, there were a few moments in it that made me laugh.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some funny stuff.
Yeah, but for the most part, it was just not the same.
It's not. And we'll see if we can figure out why that is.
I think I know one of the reasons why.
Shia LaBeouf.
No, I have nothing against him. You're the one who doesn't like him.
I liked Shia LaBeouf when this came out. Yeah. I was positive about him. And then, seemed like it was shortly after this that he kind of went downhill. I don't know. Anyway, we'll see what that big thing is that ruins the movie for you. I think it's a lot of stuff in this movie.
Yeah, it's several things, but it's several things.
Yeah. Well, then I guess we should get into those things.
Sure.
What happened?
Can you tell I just don't really want to talk about this movie?
That means it's going to be a good one.
Okay. So, first of all, we get our little, what is it, PG-13 or whatever.
Yeah.
And with the warnings that it has adventure violence.
Yeah, adventure violence was great.
And scary images. I'm like, okay, but adventure violence. I'm like, what is that? That's funny.
It's just punches.
Yeah.
Because really not much else happens. And some guns are fired, but
nobody gets shot. Or if they do, it's bad guys.
Yeah.
So it's not the good guys.
And he just got shot in the foot.
True.
So, but one guy gets eaten by ants.
Oh, two guys
get eaten by ants, yeah.
And then there's also, what else? Oh, and there are somebody holding a big stack of books at one point gets almost run over by a motorcycle.
And he will and screams.
You know, yeah.
It was great.
Oh, anyway.
Yeah.
So, adventure violence.
Adventure violence.
The best kind of violence.
Be ready ready yourself for descriptions of adventure violence.
Yes. So we start off. It's the 50s.
Yeah.
We're in Nevada, riding through the desert.
We are.
There's like a military convoy. And then there are these teens in their car. And they're like, let's race!
Yeah.
Let's race the
army! What were they
army!
doing out there? In the middle of the desert.
Just having fun like teens do in the 50s.
They don't go out all that way to race military
Because it is literally the middle of nowhere.
It is. Because there's, like, it's a nuclear, detonation site. Yeah. You probably don't want that around anything.
Well, I mean, they used to do that fairly close to Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Because they had an observation deck in one of the casinos.
Yeah.
Or one of the hotels in Las Vegas where you could watch and you could see them do that in the distance.
Wow.
What was going on
just
in the
real
50s?
Smart people around.
I don't understand, but
These were crazy.
So yeah, they're like, hey, army guys, you want to race?
Yeah.
And they're like, sure. And then that...
Yeah, it doesn't really pay off.
It doesn't.
He turns off and goes into the military base and the kids just drive on. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, cool. Glad we started that off strong.
Yeah. There was just a whole lot of stuff that happened in this movie that it's like, okay, why'd this happen?
My first nitpick, though, let me just say this. My first nitpick is the way they did I want to say the credits, but it's not the credits.
Paramount logo?
The way they do Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. It's like,
the title.
It's nothing.
Yeah.
Because remember, like, in Temple of Doom, it's like, there's this big choreographed dance scene, and
and
it's like this big thing on the screen. It's like so cool.
Yeah.
And then this is just like, it's just a little thing there. It's like there's no big production.
Yeah.
It was just kind of, I was like, no, but I don't want big production.
Yeah. This one's the first one that's kind of like doesn't really start off in a thing that doesn't really relate to the story, because like that whole dance thing, it's not a mission about what he's looking for later.
It's just,
it plays into it, but
it's something completely different because it's the diamond.
Yeah.
And then in like Raiders, he's going to get the idol and doesn't have anything to do with the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
And then even in the third one, what is he doing in the third one?
It's him as a kid.
Flashback. So it's him getting the Cross of Coronado. Yeah. And it's like, doesn't have anything to do with the Holy Grail. It has little hints in that little portion.
Yeah.
But no, this is just directly into, okay, we're going into what the big
what they end up getting is not technically what they're getting in the end, but it's like,
but it is related,
exactly the same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's a bad start. But they had to shout out a lot of things by going so they get up to the checkpoint and they're like, can't go in, we're about to test a bomb, stay out.
So there are these guards there,
and then swerve, they're bad guys in the convoy, and they shoot all the guards, and
I guess they're dressed as like U.S. Army,
because
some guy comes out and I guess he's supposed to be like a colonel or something,
some high ranking. They're like, oh my gosh, guy.
sir, and then he like pretends to like tie his shoe while the other people behind him just shoot them all dead.
Not really well done by those guys.
Anyway, they pull up to this warehouse and start taking people out of the trunk.
Yep.
One of them is Mac, who we've never seen before.
From Mac and Me.
I wish. I would have loved this movie if Mac from Mac and Me just showed up. It would have fit. It would have fit.
They pull him out. He falls down. Then he stands up and does that little face toward the camera like he
starts doing the little...
Oh, no, not that.
So, I mean, it would have fit, though, because...
Did we watch Mac and Me?
We watched Mac and Me for this podcast.
It out of my mind.
As you probably should. I love it still. Whatever. That's nostalgia talking.
Yeah.
So they take Mac out, and I'm like, I don't know who this guy is, but okay.
Yeah. I thought we were supposed to know who he was, or that he was from another movie, but no.
And then they pull out Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
He's in the trunk also.
Yeah.
And you recognize him by his hat, of course.
Of course. And his music.
Mm-hmm. So the people who are dressed as the U.S. military are not actually U.S. military.
No.
It's the Russians.
The Russian.
Mm-hmm. So there's like this one guy, the one who was pretending to be like the higher up.
Yeah.
And he's like... You think that he's going to be the big bad, but he's not.
He's not.
Because here comes the big bad. It's Kate Blanchett.
Kate Blanchett.
And her name is Irina Spalko.
Did not know her name.
I thought they said Starkov at first.
Oh.
But no, it's not. But she's the person who's over these guys. And
Kate Blanchett. Amazing actress.
Yes, love her.
Won an Oscar. She's great.
Mm-hmm.
In this movie, wow, she's bad.
Yikes.
That accent alone is awful.
It's so bad.
She just goes from like borderline Russian to British, and it's awful. I hated it.
It's so bad.
It doesn't get better.
No.
It stays bad.
It does.
Every time she says Dr. Jones, she says it in like a British version. She's like, Dr. Jones or something. Yeah,
she says Jones British, but she tries to say Dr. Russian, and it's just...
It doesn't work at all. It's so bad.
It's really bad.
Yeah.
Like I said, I love Kate Blanchett, though.
Yeah. But
she's great, but...
This was not
No.
Bad start.
Mm-hmm. So they're at this warehouse.
Yep.
She's like, you were here 10 years ago. You know what we're looking for.
Yeah. You were the one of the ones that excavated it or whatever.
Yeah. Technically
Exhumed it.
Technically it wasn't excavated.
Yeah.
Because find out. Of course, when they said 10 years ago, I was like, oh, Roswell crash.
I'm
so smart.
I think you'll find 10 years ago. Roswell. Most of y'all won't know this. But, excuse me. Roswell? Heard of it? Aliens. Okay. Heard of New Mexico? Idiots. So anyway.
They have to try to find this in one little box or whatever.
Yeah.
One crate in just a huge warehouse full of stuff.
Yep. Well, never mind.
Yeah. It's magnetized.
Yeah.
There's something in it that attracts metal.
Yeah, but this is where I have questions. Is it really magnetic because it magnetizes gold?
That's a different thing.
Is it?
This is not the gold one.
So it's the case around it that's
I think
magnetic?
it was the case, maybe. But I don't know. Because it doesn't do the gold stuff until like later. It's a different one.
Yeah, but maybe because they don't have any gold there.
I don't know. But they're using like gunpowder.
Yeah, and yeah. The like power of the magnets in this fluctuates wildly.
I don't understand it.
They throw gunpowder in the air to like direct them to it.
Yeah.
I don't think that gunpowder is going to hover in the air.
Yeah.
It would probably like fall toward or go a lot faster than just making a cloud. I don't know. I'm not a physicist.
Yeah. And how is it doing this with the gunpowder, but it's not pulling like their guns and stuff?
Yeah. I mean, I guess
because it does later.
Yeah. Their guns are heavier maybe, so from that distance maybe it's not pulling them. But still, whenever they pour out the gunpowder, it's not immediately going toward it or something.
Yeah, because you would think that it would just like the stream of it would just go in, but it doesn't because they can pour it into their hands
and then pretty high up
and then blow it in the wind or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
It's dumb. And then when they finally get to it and open it up and it's really magnetic, it's like pulling the lights and stuff.
Yeah.
But their guns are just barely moving toward it.
Why wasn't it doing that to the lights? The lights have been there overhead the whole time.
Exactly.
Why weren't they just pulling them toward it? And they could have gone, oh, it's over there where all those lights are being pulled. It
does not make any sense.
Magnet.
It's not like that wood crate is stopping the magnets from doing it. If it's pulling gunpowder from all the way across the warehouse,
it can do it with the lights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is dumb.
It is. So they find the crate that they're looking for. They open it up. There's this big metal case. They load it onto like the back of this truck, and then they open it. I'm like, you could have opened it before, but whatever, it's fine.
Yeah.
I guess they had to have it on the truck because everything is about to go down, and if it wasn't on the truck at that point,
I guess so.
They wouldn't have had time to load it. I don't know.
Yeah.
So supposedly it has like a mummy kind of thing, something mummified in there. So they open it up, they take off the bag or whatever, and there's a little alien hand that pops out, and it's like, ooh, look at that. It's only got like 4 fingers or whatever. I don't know.
Little Mac.
Yep. So they find it.
Yep.
Also, Cate Blanchett's character has a sword.
Yeah, that's her weapon of choice.
That's her thing. She just has a sword. I'm like,
yeah.
Doesn't explain it. She just likes swords.
No need to. Yeah.
Yeah. So Indy takes this moment when one of the guards is like looking at the alien to grab his gun, whip somebody else's gun, so that Mac has a gun now.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're gonna shoot the doctor if you don't
let us go. So they put their guns down.
Yep. But then they put their guns back up. And it's like, oh no, what happened? And Mac has turned on it. No! I was like,
the most beloved character.
I put Mac. No, also, who the hell's Mac?
Yeah. They didn't give us, like, any time to get, like, acquainted with them before he turned on Indy, to where it's like, okay. Yeah. I figured he would.
Yeah.
Probably seemed like, I don't know. Why was he riding in the back of the trunk if he's a double agent?
Well, he was riding back there because Indy's supposed to think that he's with him.
Indy doesn't need to see him in the trunk. It's not a huge trunk. No. You can fit one person in there. He's like, you're going in the other trunk.
Exactly. And then he's like,
you want help into the trunk here?
Yeah, it doesn't. They're trying to fool the audience is what it is.
Yeah.
And it didn't really work.
It doesn't.
While they're having this big fight, somebody gets shot in the toe.
Yeah.
Because he tells him to drop his weapon is what it is. Drop your gun.
Yeah.
To Indy. So Indy drops the gun and shoots somebody in the foot.
Yeah. I thought he shot Mac.
No.
Didn't. It was some guy.
It was just some random soldier. He gets shot in the foot and he's like, ah! And then he starts shooting everything because he's freaking out. And then Cate Blanchett's character goes off. She jumps in the seat of the truck that the thing is in and just heads off. And Indy, starts chasing after her.
Yeah, they're just chasing. He's running across boxes.
Yeah, it is kind of funny. At one point, he tries to use his whip to swing
and jump into her car.
And he does not do it.
I thought that was closer.
Yeah.
That was a good bit.
Yeah.
At one point, they wreck into a box. And we see...
What is it?
It's the Holy Ark of the Covenant, not the Holy Grail.
No, it's the Ark of the Covenant.
That's in a hole somewhere.
From Raiders of the Lost Ark. They're in the warehouse. That was at the very end of that movie, apparently. And I don't remember everything that happens, but they end up getting away. Oh, okay. He goes into some other room. They fall through, this glass.
The glass thing.
Yeah, him and, I wish I knew this character's name. I don't know his name.
He's
the second in command, kind of.
Yeah, main tough guy.
Yeah. They fall through this glass ceiling together.
Yeah.
And accidentally hit this button that is going to start this thing. It's like I
guess it's the rocket sled that they get on.
I guess so. Yeah, that's what it is, but I don't know what it's called.
It's a rocket sled.
Okay. So it's counting down to that.
Yeah. And it takes off. They kind of luckily fall into where their backs are up against the grill.
Yeah. It burns all the people behind them, except for Mac, who just conveniently gets behind a column.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Well, that works, I guess.
Yeah, so that gets him out of there.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they manage to escape with the box.
Yeah. Yeah. So then the rocket sled takes them across the desert and hits a stop at the end with water and stuff, which it made them pass out because of the G's. But if they're stopping abruptly, they're going to fly off that thing, not just sit there in there because they're going super fast enough to knock them out.
Yeah. But
then they're suddenly stopping.
It didn't look like it was that sudden of a stop, though.
You're hitting just water and so
But it looked like they were already slowing down by the time they got there.
Oh, no, they would have.
But anyway.
No way.
So, whatever. It's not realistic. Just don't even worry about it.
Yeah, but that's the problem with this movie, is so many things in this movie happen that are just completely unrealistic. And that, all the Indiana Jones movies, stuff happens in them that's unrealistic, right?
Yes.
But... it's usually one or two things at the end, or something that's kind of grounded at least.
Sometimes.
In Raiders, what are the crazy things that happen? Really, when they open the Ark, is there anything else that's kind of crazy?
When he gets on a submarine and somehow it dives underwater and they just never show.
That is. Yeah, that okay. We'll give that 2. Okay, it's got 2 unrealistic things. Temple of Doom gets a little crazy. The heart gets pulled out, drinking blood, and you get hypnotized or whatever. Kate Capshaw's a good actress. Unbelievable things happening in that movie. Shots fired.
Wow. I mean, I was going to point out the whole part where they jump out of a plane.
Oh, yeah.
In a life raft.
Yeah, that's bad.
Slide down a mountain into a river.
Also very bad. Yeah. Yes. That's a few. And I don't think that's the best movie. Not Temple, Last Crusade. What happened? That there's a holy grail and it gives you eternal life and turns a guy into Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah, that might be.
It wasn't too crazy.
Yeah, that didn't have too many crazy things from what I can remember.
But this is just like dumb thing. Unrealistic. Oh, so many times that it's like, when you get to the final thing, it's like, of course it's like,
at this point, I'm just like, you know what? I don't.
Stupid.
At this point, I don't even care.
Yeah.
It's like, sure, now it does make sense. This makes more sense than half the other stuff happening here.
So this is kind of the first thing. Yeah. And then we get right into the second thing. Because he runs away. He's got to get away from the Russians.
Yep.
So he runs into a nearby town.
Yes.
And he's got to go into a house to get away. And nobody will answer the door, though.
Nope. And he gets in there and he hears them. They're watching Howdy Doody in the living room. Yep. So he goes in there and they're mannequins.
Yep.
This is a town where they're about to bomb it.
Yep. It's a test town.
Yep. Test it and see how everything looks when they're done.
Yeah. And he hears announcements about the countdown. Mm-hmm. And
there are these
happening.
Some of the Russians have followed or like looking for him in the town too. Yeah. They're in a car. And he tries to jump in the car with them. It's a good thing he didn't.
Yeah, that would have been bad.
But so they're getting out of there because they're like, oh crap, they're about to do something bad here. So he can't get out. Yeah. So he runs back into the house. Yeah. And he
thinks about getting into the fireplace. But no, that won't work.
So he takes all of the shelves out of the refrigerator. Yep. And it does say that it's lead lined.
It does say it's lead lined, yes.
And then he closes himself up in it just in time because the bomb drops. Yeah. And everything is destroyed and the refrigerator flies over the car of the Russians.
Rocketed out. Mm-hmm. Bangs against the ground quite a few times. He would have died.
I don't understand why that was the only thing that flew out of the whole city, of that whole town.
It was just the only thing we saw, and it just happened to conveniently be over those guys. But yeah.
But the people in the car, they end up getting killed.
Yeah.
And he makes it, the refrigerator bounces. Yeah. It flips several times. I'm like, anything in this is going to be broken.
Yeah, he would have broken his neck at least.
But he walks away with no problems.
He's fine, no issues. Yeah, and this is well-trodden territory that our fridge is not going to protect you from a nuclear bomb. Just please don't try that. I don't care if it's lead-lined, it's not going to work. And man, he's definitely not surviving that fall.
Oh, no.
So, yeah.
But I mean, he walks away with nothing wrong with him. He just brushes the dust off of him and just keeps walking. Yeah. But
if that was like one of the only dumb things, I'd be like, it's fun. Because it's not that bad. It's just kind of fun.
Yeah, exactly. I've never really had that big of a problem with it. I know other people have, but I'm just like, but it's just ridiculous.
It's just a silly thing. But then it just gets compounded with just so many dumb things.
So many dumb things. Oh, man. So he gets picked up by, I guess the FBI or whatever, and they have to, wash him down and everything.
Yeah, because he's radioactive as crap.
Yep. And they ask him some questions. They ask him about the woman, about Cate Blanchett's character, whose name I can never remember, but we're just going to keep calling her Cate Blanchett because, she's supposedly psychic, because she did try to,
she tried to read
his mind, and she's like, "You're very hard to read."
Yeah,
Dr. Jones.
It's like, okay.
That's probably as good of an accent as she does, honestly.
Yeah, you nailed it.
That was terrible.
I was glad she never actually read anybody's mind.
Yeah, she didn't.
Because that would have just made it even worse. Been like, okay. Yeah. We have a superpowered lady here.
Yeah, it was weird. But anyway, the FBI are kind of like, we'll make your life hard for you or whatever. Yeah. I don't know why they're so pissed off at him.
It's because it's during the Red Scare time when McCarthyism is running rampant and they think everybody's a communist. And
they're like, you're associated with Mac, the guy that, you know, betrayed him and everything, he's like, he turned out to betray me. Why would I be a
So
commie?
you say.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, the whole Red Scare thing is just...
It's dumb.
Annoying.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he goes back to the college, to the university where he's teaching. Jim Broadbent shows up because he's like the president of the university.
Yeah. I was disappointed, though. His students didn't seem to be super in love with him anymore.
Well, he's old now, you know.
He's old and not hot.
He's
Come
still
on,
hot.
he looks great.
He's still hot.
Yeah.
I'm still just like, yeah, he still got it.
Apparently worked out real hard for this. And dude's in good shape.
Oh, yeah.
Give him a break. Okay.
Look, I would have still had "Love You" written on my eyelids, but you know, whatever. It's the 50s. These people don't know what they're missing.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. They're all into their Beatles.
They're all like, oh, Marlon Brando,
Marlon Brando, Elvis,
James Dean.
I don't know who's popular right there.
That sounds about right.
All right.
So yeah, Jim Broadbent. I don't know his character name.
I don't know. Dean something.
Well, I think he's the president, but yeah, Dean, whatever.
He was the dean.
So he comes in, he gets Indy out of his class, and he's like, I gotta talk to you, or whatever.
Yeah.
So he told him, you know, the FBI showed up, and they were asking questions and stuff, and now...
went through all this stuff.
Yep. And now Dr. Jones is gonna have to be...
it belonged at a museum. How could you let them do this?
And now he's gonna have to be on a leave of absence.
Yeah, but he gets paid fully. And he's like, I don't want their money.
Yeah.
But the dean was like, dude, I resigned so you could get that. So be cool.
Exactly.
Poor dean.
Yep.
Miss you every day.
So he goes back to his office, I guess.
Or
maybe it's his house.
Yeah, I think it's his house.
It's his office in his house is where he's at one point. Because he's looking at his desk and he's got a picture of his dad, of course.
And Marcus.
And Marcus Brody, and they've both passed away.
Aww.
And I was like, no, but darn. I miss them
Marcus.
already. I miss you, Mr. Magoo.
You were our favorite part.
Just when I started to like you, Marcus Brody, you had to die. Why? Why? Yeah. So he's like, well, I got to get out of town or whatever. He's going to try to get a position somewhere else teaching, I guess. So he gets on a train. These two guys get on the train too.
Yeah.
With him. It's like, oh, these look like dangerous people. And then here comes somebody riding up on a motorcycle.
Oh boy, looking like Marlon Brando on a motorcycle.
Here we go. He's got his leather jacket. He's got his hat and everything.
It's LaBeouf.
Mm-hmm. And he sees Indy on the train. And he's like, hey, old man.
Yeah.
Are you Dr. Jones? He's like, yeah. And he's like, I need your help. They're going to kill Dr. Oxley or whatever.
Yeah.
So he's like, okay, I'll get off this train.
Yeah.
So they go. They're like having some milkshakes or whatever.
Yeah, at the diner.
At the sock hop.
Don't know if there was a sock hop happening, but...
No.
It was at a diner, though.
It was at a diner, yep. And they're talking. This kid's name is Mutt.
Yep.
Or that's what he wants to be called.
Yeah.
Mutt. He's like, they've got Dr.
Named
Oxley.
After the family dog.
Sure. Makes sense. Yeah, he wants his help because they're, like you said, they're going to kill Dr. Oxley. Dr. Oxley is kind of like his mentor or whatever.
Yeah, I took care of him when he was a kid.
Yeah. Oxley was in Peru.
Yeah.
He found a crystal skull, and they say something about the Mitchell Hedges skull. I didn't look it up. I don't really care.
Yeah.
It's different anyway, but supposedly it is a Mesoamerican deity carving. So Indy has to tell him a little bit about what all this means and everything, and that there was one that was stolen from Akator, which is like the mythical lost city in the Amazon, El Dorado, the city of gold. And one of the skulls was stolen from there, and whoever brings it back will gain some kind of power.
Yeah.
So it's a legend, but Dr. Oxley found it.
Yep. So, then he got kidnapped.
Mm-hmm, but then he got kidnapped, and then Mutt's mom got kidnapped too.
Yeah.
He's like, who's your mom? And he's like, Mary Williams.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know who that is.
Yeah. It's like, how dare you?
Yeah.
That's my mom. Like, your mom has a generic name, bro.
Yep. So he looks over.
You should be happier he doesn't know your mom. Oh, yeah, I remember your mom.
Yeah, I remember your mom.
Ooh, Mary, Mary, Mary.
Okay. So he looks over. The two guys that followed him onto the train are sitting there at the counter in the diner.
Yeah.
And they're looking
they're
over.
sharing a milkshake.
Uh-huh.
Kissing.
So sweet. They get up. They start walking over. No. Yeah. They walk over and he's like, it's probably FBI. And they're like, they start speaking Russian. He's like, nope, KGB.
Yep.
So they're there.
KGB waits for no one.
Oh my gosh. That's a good one. So to get away from them, they start a fight between like the greasers and the Socs. Yeah. I don't know what they're called, but they did say right. Greasers, and I just automatically just go to the outsiders.
Yeah, it's a rumble.
Yep, they start a rumble.
And they're able to get away and jump on Mutt's motorcycle. Mm-hmm. And it's a chase, baby.
It's a chase. They get chased throughout the city. They go to the university. Mm-hmm. They
run into Marcus's statue.
The bad guys run into a statue of Marcus Brody and his head falls off.
Yeah.
Poor Marcus.
Poor Marcus.
They take the motorcycle and go straight into the library.
Yep. That's where they nearly hit that kid.
Uh-huh. And not really much
Another
happens.
Students like, hey, Dr.
I had a question about this thing, whatever.
He's like, you'll only be a good archaeologist if you get out of the library.
You gotta get out of the library.
I'm off on a motorcycle. President Nixon.
I was like, who are you trying to be? Because I cannot figure it out.
I'm not a crook. As he throws up the fingers. Mm-hmm. Nixon.
So, yeah. I don't remember what they do. I'm like, I've got some stuff.
They get away, don't they?
Yeah, they get away.
Peru.
Well, they get away. They are looking up some information about... Oh, because Mutt had a letter from Oxley.
Yeah.
And gives it to Indy, and it's in like some kind of...
Mayan
or something.
Yeah.
Which is weird that it's Mayan. And then they end up going to Peru, because that's not Mayan, that's Incan. Okay.
The Mayan's not in Peru at all?
No, they were in Mexico. I don't think they were. I think they were just in
Maybe
Yucatan.
It wasn't Mayan.
But I think they do mention Mayan in there a lot, because I'm like, that's the Yucatan Peninsula. I don't know. It doesn't matter. So they find some information about Francisco de Orellana, who was a conquistador who got lost looking for the skull.
Or a conquistador.
Yeah, as
Matt calls it.
Yeah. So they translate some of the stuff from the letter that Oxley left, and it talks about lines that only the gods can read.
Yeah.
Of course, I was like, Nazca lines.
Listen, Mark, I believe you'll find.
Look, the Nazca lines are cool, okay? So I was like, ooh, Nazca lines. And you're like, cool. Shut up, nerd. So, yeah, thanks for that.
I didn't say, shut up. I said, chill out, nerd.
Okay, whatever. Close enough.
You were losing your mind.
I was.
You were out of control.
I was like, oh my god! It's the Nazca line!
We had to hold you down.
Mm-hmm.
You were going to dance.
So anyway, they're like, we're going to Nazca, Peru! And so they do.
They do.
they take a cargo plane there, I guess. Yeah. Because they have to take Mutt's motorcycle with them. So.
Yeah. Gotta have that motorcycle.
Indy talks to some of the locals there and find out that Oxley was put into a sanitarium because he was going crazy.
Yeah. And I think they were using, was it Incan he was talking to him in? I don't know. It was some language, but he's like, how'd you learn that language? He's like, I rode with Pancho Villa for a while.
Pancho Villa. He
like,
does. Really? He says he was kidnapped by Pancho Villa.
Well, eventually he says, I was kidnapped by it. So, yeah, he's just done everything.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, they go to find Oxley, but he's not there. Some men with guns came and took him away.
No.
But he drew a bunch of pictures on his wall.
He did.
So they go check that out. Yep. So they go check that out. They find a bunch of drawings of this weird elongated skull. And he's like, oh, that's not like the other skull that we were talking about that I can't remember. It was like the
Higgs boson.
Yes. It was the Mitchell Hedges. There we go. So it's different than that one. What could it mean? And then there are a bunch of words just written out, and they all translate to the same word, which is return. So they think that he went to return the skull, I guess.
Was the Mitchell Hedges one the one that was like a link and evolution deal? I don't know.
I only know about the Nazca lines, okay? I don't know. I only know about the Roswell UFO.
So, yeah. He gets up on... Weird room, by the way. Mm-hmm. Like, looks like a terrible place to stay.
Well, I mean, it's not supposed to be like the Holiday Inn. It's
but I guess it was a bad time for mental patients at that time.
Exactly. But they're trying to find something called Oriana's Cradle, and he like sweeps the floor and he sees something on the floor, and so he stands on like this not wooden, it's like a stone bench or something. I guess it's supposed to maybe be like a...
Thought maybe his bed was up there.
Yeah. He stands up on it and he sees that it's like a cemetery or something. He's like, oh, cradle also can mean, in Mayan.
Yeah.
Can mean...
We gotta look. Were there Mayans in Peru?
Can mean grave. Maybe there were.
Siri, were there Mayans in Peru? Hard to say. El Peru is a Maya site. Mayans in Peru. No.
Were there Mayans in South America at all? Because I thought they were just like Mexico. Maybe Central America.
El Peru, also known as Huaca, is a pre-Columbian Maya archaeological site. It's capital of a Maya city-state. It's located near the banks of the San Pedro River of northern Guatemala.
Okay.
So, are we sure they were in Peru and not El Peru?
They were in Peru. It was in Nazca, Peru.
All right.
It was right next to...
I'm just trying to make sense of this movie.
It was right next to Cusco. It was literally showed the plane going to South America.
I can't help it. I don't know. I'm just trying to help make this make sense. And it don't.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I feel like they weren't, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know. By the way, that skull thing, the Maxwell House skull,
it
was a crystal skull that they had found. Somebody had found. Somebody's daughter had one. I don't know. Probably made by a guy. Anyway, what's up?
So anyway, they realized that it doesn't mean the place where he was born. It means a place where his final resting place, which would be his grave. It is a cemetery where he's supposedly buried. They go there and there's a sign there that's like, grave robbers will be shot. And it's like, we're not robbing a grave.
Yeah.
Okay.
You kind of are. Because they end up robbing a grave. They do
end up leaving with something. So, kind of did.
Liar.
These people in masks show up. They've got poison darts. They're trying to keep them from finding the tomb. At one point, one of them is about to shoot a poison dart at Mutt. Yeah. And Indy pops up and just like
shoots it right back.
Blows it right back into the guy's throat. And it's like, okay.
Rough go for that guy.
Yeah.
He had a bad day.
But they do end up finding where there's like a dead end. It's like, oh, how are we going to get through this? Of course, there's a little spot for Indy to stick his hand in and pull some kind of lever, and it opens up a door. Mutt gets stung by a scorpion. Yeah. He freaks out and he's like, was it a big scorpion? He's like, it was huge. And he's like, okay, you only have to worry about it if it's a small one.
Gotta worry about them little ones. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is that true? You know more about scorpions than I do?
I know nothing about scorpions. I just know I was afraid of scorpions when I lived in Arizona.
I was going to say, you warned me before I went to Arizona.
I know they lived up in the palm trees. I was going to say. Scared of them.
I was going to say, you told me to be wary because scorpions could fall out of the palm tree.
I did not say they could fall out of palm trees. They will attack without a moment's notice. No, but whenever they cut down the palm trees, I have to like treat them with stuff. Okay. There's a lot of stuff in there. Don't ever walk under a palm tree or else
the way you made it sound that they were just be dropping out of palm trees all the time, and I was just gonna be like walking down the street just scorpions falling everywhere. Why do you think I didn't go outside when I was in Arizona? Actually, I didn't go outside because of COVID, but whatever.
Yeah, that was the main reason.
It was the worst time to be going somewhere.
Anywhere. Especially with scorpions falling out of the sky.
Right.
Yeah, I was lucky enough while I lived in Arizona I didn't ever really even see a scorpion. But people I knew, they would just like show up on their walls and stuff, just like hanging out. It's like, not about that life.
I've seen one like once before. It was in the carpet at home. Yeah. And I was like, I don't know what this is. I thought it was like... This is because I'm really dumb. I thought it was like a tiny little, like... I just realized this thing would have messed me up if it stung me, probably.
It's a tiny one.
Because it was a tiny one. I thought that maybe there was like some kind of... it looked like a wrench, kind of. Something about it looked like a wrench. I don't know if it was just because I was a kid and I was just like, didn't know what a wrench looked like, but that's to me what it looked like.
Did you drink a lot as a child?
No. And I told my mom, and she was like, oh, that's a scorpion. And she killed it, got rid of it and everything.
Yeah.
But I was like, was there like a little tiny, like...
Was he working on building something?
I was like, was there like a little tiny...
Oh, this is sad.
The words again. Was there like a little tiny toolbox? And somebody accidentally dropped a little tiny
wrench.
Little tiny wrench on the floor. I don't know what was wrong with me.
Sorry, I called you a nerd earlier. So anyway, that's our scorpion lesson for today.
Yep, the small ones are bad.
If you see a small wrench on the floor, don't pick it up.
Get up. Oh man. So they go through this crypt kind of place. They keep seeing a bunch of skeletons that have elongated skulls.
Yep.
And he talks about how they used to like tie their skulls.
Yeah,
so that
bind their kids' heads.
Yeah, they would bind them so it would elongate the skulls, and it was supposed to honor the gods.
Right.
So anyway,
that's got to be rough.
Yeah.
Grow up. You got that long skull.
Well, I mean, if they were doing it to all of them, then...
Yeah. But I mean, if you go anywhere and you find out, oh, my skull looks weird. Or maybe everybody else's skull looks weird.
Exactly. So then they find a room full of mummies. There's 7 of them.
Yeah.
They think that it's probably Oriana and his men.
Yeah.
Because there were like 7 of them, I guess.
Guess so. Lucky number 7.
Mm-hmm. So they... undo the wrappings on one of them, and he's like perfectly preserved. It looks like he just died.
Yeah.
And then suddenly he just starts rotting. Hits him, air hits him. Yep. And then they see another one that's been opened already. And they walk up to it.
He looks terrible.
And he's got but he's wearing a mask, like a gold mask, because they used to call Oriana the Gilded Man.
Yep.
And they take the mask off.
Gold.
Mm-hmm. So they take the mask off and everything, and he's not looking good.
He's had a rough time.
Mm-hmm. But they're like, someone was here because he was opened up and everything. Mm-hmm. They're like, but they left all the gold and the artifacts. And then he grabs like a handful of gold.
Yeah.
And it starts like flying toward that mummy.
Yeah, goes like in his chest plate and stuff.
And it's like, oh, it's magnetic. And they move his body, and there's the crystal skull there.
Yep, just stuffed in the thing for some reason.
And so they look at it, and it's like there are no tool marks on it. It's just all like a single piece of quartz that is in the shape of a skull. And they're like, that's pretty cool. But crystal's not magnetic, and neither is gold. Yeah. And then we're like, what is happening here?
Never really explain it.
No.
It's just what it is.
It's just one of those things.
Doesn't make...
It's alien technology. Let's just go ahead and say it. That's what it's supposed to be, I guess.
But still.
Yeah. So anyway, it's there because Oxley returned it, because that was his thing. He needs to return the skull. And then... I
guess he hid it there. Maybe he was getting followed or something.
Maybe. And so he was going to come back and get it.
Because he would have taken it all the way.
Yeah. But then, they're surrounded.
Oh, no.
It's because they come back up with the skull.
Yeah. Anytime they're walking up and we don't see where they're going, it's like
they're going to be surrounded by bad guys.
Definitely going to be surrounded by someone.
And they are. It's Mac and the Russians. They're there.
Yeah. Oh, man. The sequel to Mac and Me. Mac and the Russians. Oh, what a movie. I'm not even looking at my notes. I should really be looking at the... Did I miss anything in my notes? No, we covered that. No. Oh, the girl that punches Shia LaBeouf in the diner.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Steven Spielberg's daughter.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Okay, we're caught up.
So now they've been captured.
Yep.
Mac is talking to Indy. Indy is like in a tent.
They're taking him to their camp and tied him up.
Yep. So he tells Mac, he's like, first thing I do when I get out of here is I'm going to punch your nose.
Yeah, they're going to let me out eventually.
I'm going to break your nose.
She's like, Indy, no, it's me, Mac.
Yeah. He mentions something about Berlin.
Yeah.
And
it's like, remember Berlin?
Yeah, and Indy's like, I don't care. I don't care that you broke your elbow.
I'm gonna say it.
Yeah, exactly. So Mac is just in it for the gold, basically, because he's like, I don't care about all this other stuff. I just want gold.
Yep.
And what's her face comes in, Kate Blanchett. She comes in. She's like, yes, we're gonna use this as a new weapon of psychic warfare. And she shows that they have the alien that they took from the warehouse.
Yeah.
And it also has a crystal skull.
Did it have a skull in it?
It did.
Oh, I couldn't tell.
Yes.
It looked like it was missing. That's why I was confused for a second. I was like, is that its crystal skull?
She's like, it's not exactly the same, but it's similar.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a distant cousin. This was so unnecessary. Like, it just made it confusing, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because why? Really, two things came to the same planet? Just randomly and crashed?
Maybe that one, because maybe the one that crashed in Roswell was trying to get to find the other skull and put it back.
Sure, maybe.
That's what we're gonna say, because that's the only thing that kind of makes sense.
I guess, yeah.
He's like, my brother, he lost his head. I gotta go fix it.
Why is he so dumb?
I don't know. But then he's like, this isn't Mexico. This is New Mexico. I went to the wrong place.
I like that he speaks English. I was reading this English
all
map.
Wrong.
Mexico and New Mexico.
It's like, there are two of them.
Thank goodness it wasn't in Guinea.
Oh, gosh.
Never found it.
Oh, man. It's like, but there are two Georgias?
New England.
Oh, goodness.
These aliens are dumb.
So anyway, they're talking about how early men could not have built Akator. And I'm like, that's... okay.
Seems dumb.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw the other movies. They built a lot of big things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to have to disagree with you.
Yeah. That's like the whole ancient alien thing's just...
Yeah. It just
annoys me. I'm just like, why? Why do you just not have any kind of... Yes, okay, it was thousands of years ago.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that they weren't smart.
They weren't white men, though. How could they do anything?
My God. They're like, Egyptians could never do this.
Yeah. They're not as civilized as we are.
They made pyramids. How could they possibly do it? It's like...
They don't have our intellect.
Okay. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
So stupid. Sorry. It just angers me.
Yeah. Like, they made so many things. They, like, came up with irrigation and early paper. Like, they're doing so many amazing things, but they can't build a structure.
Yeah.
Get out of town, guys.
Oh, jeez. Anyway. So, Oxley is there. They bring him into the tent. He's crazy. He's going crazy. This is John Hurt.
Yep.
Also known as Ollivander from Harry Potter.
Oh, okay.
So, with his little... What was it that we thought? I thought he said yikes.
Yikes, yeah.
Yikes. But what did he actually say?
I don't even remember.
I can't remember. All I can think of is yikes now. If you read lips, it looked like yikes.
I feel like
I think he said like fascinating or something like that. And I was like,
yikes.
How did I get yikes from that? I don't know.
Yeah,
oh, man.
It was a good time.
So yeah, they set up the skull to like set it up like right in front of Indy, and he's still strapped down and everything to the chair. Because
they say
you're
that
gonna stare in its eyes.
Yeah,
and it'll
John
talk
Hurt
to
went
you.
crazy because he stared at it too long.
So he's like, "Why don't you speak to it?" And she's like, "It doesn't speak to everybody,
Yeah.
so obviously it won't speak to her."
Because she's a woman.
Because she's a Russian.
A Russian. Well.
It doesn't speak to commies. Oh, man.
He bleached True Blue.
Oh, gosh. Anyway, so... So she wants him to try it.
Yeah.
So, of course, he has to stare at it for a while. He starts
losing it.
Yeah, he looks like he's about to have a seizure.
Yeah.
And they're like, quick, put the bag over its head so that he can't look at it anymore.
Yeah.
And Mac is like, Indy, are you okay? And he starts, like, taking his...
his cuffs off.
His cuffs off and everything, and Indiana just immediately punches him in the nose. And he's like, you hit my nose. He's like, I told you I was going to. Oh,
he's
man.
A man of his word.
Yep. So, anyway, they go out.
And he kept, like, saying return, I think.
Yeah, he kept saying return. Yeah.
And so did John Hurt.
Yeah, because Oxley was also return. They're just all going return. Penitent. Man. Yeah. So, they go out from the tent, and Mutt is there, of course.
Yep.
And then they bring out Mutt's mom. And who is it?
It's Marianne Ravenwood.
Karen
AKA
Allen.
Mary Williams.
Yep. Karen Allen, she's back.
She's back, baby.
We're all happy about it.
We love it. Fresh off Sandlot.
By like 10 years, but sure.
Fresh.
So fresh. Actually, it's more than 10 years. It was probably more like 15, but whatever. Probably. So, yeah, she's there, and Indy's, like, so excited to see her.
Babe.
He seems really excited to see her.
He did.
And she's like, I'm just here for my kid. But Oxley is still over there. He's talking to Indiana, I guess, because he keeps saying Henry Jones Jr., or whatever. Yeah. So he goes over to him. He's like, Oxley, snap out of it.
Oh, no.
But he's doing this thing with his hand.
Yeah.
And finally, Indy's like, oh, bring a pen and paper. Because he's auto-writing. And he draws some little pictograms. He draws some pictograms.
He's drawing some pictograms.
And they find out that it's a map.
Yep.
And
he deciphers it all.
Yeah, it leads to a certain place.
Yep.
It leads to somewhere on the Amazon. There's another river or whatever.
Yeah.
And it means sleep, because it's like Sono or whatever.
Sure.
And so they know where they're supposed to be going, but Mutt goes crazy.
Pocket sand.
And he knocks over the table. He kicks over the table.
Throws the lantern down.
Yep. And grabs his mom and Indy and Oxley, and they hightail it into the jungle. Yep. And then Marion and Indy get stuck in
immediately get in a sand pit.
It's not a quicksand though. It's something else, and I did not write it down because I was just like, they're stuck in sand. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's slow moving sand unless like one of the air pockets goes, and of course two of them start sinking.
Yeah. So they tell Ox to go get help.
Yep. Mutt goes off to try to find something to throw to pull him out.
Yeah.
And of course Oxley goes for help because he's like, help. He just walks off into the jungle.
I was like, who did they expect him to go get
Who
help
else
from?
is here? Exactly. Anyway, so while they're stuck in the sand, they're talking, and Marianne tells him that Mutt's name is Henry.
He's like, good name. That's a good name.
Yeah, and she's like, Henry Jones the Third. He's your son, Indiana.
Oh, dun dun dun.
So, yeah.
It's like, no, it's not possible.
And immediately he's like, why'd you let him drop out of school?
Yeah.
Because, he dropped out of school.
Yeah. Mutt doesn't care.
He don't care. He just wants to repair motorcycles.
He likes to read, but he just doesn't like school.
Yeah.
What a rebel.
Mm-hmm. A rebel without a cause.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Mutt does show up again with something to get them out. He gets his mom out first because, of course, priorities. Yeah. I would too. So he saves his mom. And then he throws what he brought toward Indy, and it is a snake.
It's a big old snake.
It's a big rat snake, I think is what he said.
He says it's a rat snake, but milk snake?
I think he said rat snake, but it looks like a boa or something.
Yeah, he's like, the rat snakes are not this big.
But he just keeps throwing it in, and he's like, I don't want the snake on me. Get it away.
Say it's a rope. Tell me it's a rope.
Yeah, because at first he's like, go get a rope. He's like, where am I supposed to get a
you
rope
think there's
here?
a Sears around here?
Do you think there's a Sears Roebuck? So he's like, okay, just tell me it's a rope. So he's like, they're both like, grab the rope. So he grabs the snake and they pull him out. Yeah. And then, of course, immediately Oxley comes back with help.
Yep. And it's the Russians,
of course. Because who else is out there? No one.
Nobody.
So they're
captured again.
They're in the back of a truck.
Yep. Got another convoy going.
Mm-hmm. They're heading out to the Amazon, I guess, to try to find the place.
Yep. And they're yelling at each other. Mike can't believe Indy's his dad. Yep. He's like, no, he was this British guy. He was a pilot or something. Not this guy. And they just argue. And then a soldier's like, I'm going to gag the woman.
Yeah, choose the woman to gag. My God. The misogyny.
But when he does, Indy and Mutt start kicking him in the face.
Yeah. Yep, they start kicking him.
All works out.
They manage to get to drive the car. To drive the truck into the driver's seat.
There's also a big bulldozer kind of truck just clearing the jungle.
Just going through the
big saws.
Through the rainforest. Just chopping
knocking it all
trees.
Down. Real 50s mentality there.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I had flashbacks to Fern Gully.
Yeah.
All those poor little fairies are in there just dying because their trees are dying.
Yeah.
Rough go for the fairies, I guess.
Rough go. Do you think Ferngully took place during this movie?
No.
Okay.
No, because Zach.
Boy, here we go.
Okay, I'm going to tell you, Ferngully was not set in the 50s because Zach, the guy who turns into like fairy size,
right?
He has a Walkman with him. They did not have Walkmans back then.
That's true.
So it has to be.
That's true. That's
probably 90s.
The only thing keeping it from being in the Indiana Jones universe.
Exactly. The only thing.
Yep. I'm glad we busted that myth.
There we go.
Sorry, fan theorists.
Myth busted.
Nice try, idiots.
No one had this theory. Except you.
Y'all looking real dumb right now.
Oh, man.
All right.
So, anyway, there's a big car chase.
Yeah.
Let's just put it that way.
He finally gets to shoot that rocket launcher. He's been teasing for 3 movies.
Yeah.
And he blows up that jungle killer.
Mm-hmm.
But that sends one of the big saws flying and cutting every car.
It's like, when does it stop?
Yeah. It's probably clearing more jungle.
It's still going to this day.
Yeah. I saw it once. It was crazy.
Almost cut me in half, man.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
It's a big chase battle going on.
Yeah,
a lot of stuff happens.
People jump in between cars all the time. Indiana ends up in Mac's car, and Mac is trying to convince him that he's a double agent. That's why he was talking about Berlin and everything. And I'm like, I still don't trust you, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
What were you going to say?
They end up in a car, like...
It's a boat car.
No, it's a boat car, which I love boat cars, by the way. I've always thought boat cars should have done more. Anyway, it's like Marion, Indy, and Mutt in the car, because they have, what's his name? Oz?
Yeah, they have Oxley.
Oxley.
And the skull.
So he tells Mutt, like, all right, get a weapon. You know, I'm going to jump up and go fight him and everything. So he goes and gets swords. Okay, fine. There were swords in the car because they were hers, whatever.
Yeah.
There's also a machine gun mounted to the front of this thing.
Yeah.
Why would you not get them on that first and just start shooting them? Why are you getting a sword?
I don't know.
This is the second time he's brought a knife to a gunfight. Yes. This time kind of works out better for him.
Yeah, because he does get to have a sword fight with Kate Blanchett.
Because we found out earlier he took some fencing lessons in school.
Exactly. Yeah. But he likes other knives. He likes switchblades and stuff.
Yeah. He loves that switchblade.
He's
always tossing
it all the time. He loves that switchblade and he loves his comb because he's always got the comb in his hair.
Combing that hair.
Or flipping that switchblade.
Yeah. That's his personality. And we love him for it. Fan favorite character.
I didn't hate him.
I didn't hate him in this movie, no. Some of it was dumb, but... Yeah. So, yeah.
They end up fencing between the cars.
They do. Yeah. And he keeps getting nut-shotted.
Yeah, because he's got his legs spread, like one on one car and one on the other, and they just keep driving by all of these bushes that are just hitting him in the crotch, like, repeatedly.
Yeah, it's a rough go.
It is. But eventually he makes it back onto one car, and everything's fine, except he gets stuck in, like, a vine. He, like, hits a vine, he, like, goes up into the air, and he's just there on a vine. There's a monkey.
And then there's a monkey, and he's like, okay.
Okay, monkey.
Give me that monkey connect.
And then there are more monkeys.
Yep.
And then he sees them swinging through the vines like Tarzan. So
he's like, I can do this.
I can do this.
This is so stupid. What a stupid sequence this is.
My note was just Mutt Tarzaning through the trees.
Yeah.
Because that's basically what happened.
Yeah. Because they're going around, they're driving, it's down to 2 cars. It's down to Kate Blanchett's car and Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
And Marion's driving. And they're like trying to knock them off the side. No, Marion's not even there. Marion's off doing whatever.
I have to say, at one point, Marion is still driving this car. Kate Blanchett falls into the car and has her head right next to Marion.
Yeah, she could have just elbowed her.
She could have elbowed her in the face and knocked her off the car. And
and she doesn't.
Problem solved. Does nothing.
Yeah. This Marion just didn't...
Not as badass as she was.
Yeah. She was so cool in that first movie.
I know, she was. She was the coolest. I was just like, Man, she's great. And then
have
it's
a kid, and then it all goes downhill. I guess.
I guess so. I mean, she was a good driver though.
Excellent drivers. Yeah,
that's about all we.
I guess. Yeah,
she does have a fun idea very soon.
Yeah, so they're driving along the edge of the cliff, and Kate Capshaw is
Kate Blanchett
is trying to knock him off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Mutt swings it. He was able to outswing, like he swung on these vines
so
close.
Quickly.
Yeah, faster than those cars can go. And that's insane. But he's freaking Tarzan, I guess. And yeah, he's able to knock Kate away from the driver's steering wheel so he can not knock them off.
And he grabs the skull and throws it over to whoever. Yeah. They all end up in the same car together. Yeah. Everything's good. Yeah. And
until
then they crash into something.
They crash in this like sandy area and like this big rock or something.
Like, oh no, we crashed. Yeah. And then here comes Kate Blanchett's car. Hits the top of their car.
Just goes right on top of their car.
How did they survive?
They were all fine somehow. And
they all ducked at just the right time.
They should have all died. Yeah, it still would have. Something would have grabbed on them. It's like another just like, no. The swinging on the vines, and then this, and then
there are these giant ants.
Giant ants. Definitely CGI ants looking really bad.
Yeah, because what they landed on was an anthill.
Yeah, big old anthill.
So one of these ants crawls onto Kate Blanchett. Yeah. Bites her, she kills it, and then, oh no, they're all over the car. Yeah. So they start swarming everywhere. Yeah. I don't remember how they get the boat car away from there, but apparently they do, because at one point they're all running away from it, I thought.
Oh, because Marion's not with them. Okay. She's been driving around, I don't know, she's doing donuts in the jungle back there. Okay. I don't know
she's
what
doing
she's
her own
doing.
Thing. I don't know.
She's like watching mud on vines. She had to stop for a second, like, what are we doing in this movie?
Maybe she just had to take a breather, because she's just like, I don't know what's going on here.
I should have elbowed her. That was my bad. I don't know. Yeah, so... Yeah, they're having to run away from all these ants. How do the ants kill? Because they bit Kate Blanchett. It had no effect on her.
She was fine.
It just hurt when it bit her. But yeah, it's not like venomous or anything like that, apparently.
I don't know.
And she's trying to climb up a vine, and they're building their Ant-Man structure to grab her. Yeah. They really want to eat Kate Blanchett.
And they had already tasted human flesh, because they already ate one of the soldiers.
Yeah, they're like dragging them down into the anthill. I guess they're just gonna take them to the queen to eat. I don't know.
They got to feed the babies. Yeah. But Oxley is holding the skull. Yeah. And they're not getting close to the skull.
Yeah, they don't like that skull.
They don't want to have anything to do with that skull. They're like, no, that skull, that's bad juju. We gotta get away from that.
It'd be great if the ants were magnetic and they just started flying toward the skull.
I mean, everying else is magnetic.
Ants aren't magnetic.
How is this happening?
This is stupid.
I'm like, magnets, how do they work? Yeah. But they're avoiding the skull. Yeah. Indy ends up fighting the second in command guy. Yeah. And that fight goes on way longer than I wanted. So long.
Yeah, it wasn't a fun fight. Because, man, that first one was like the airplane. It's like, oh, man, it's getting close. They're dodging stuff. That was exciting when he's fighting him.
Oh, the first movie?
Yeah, the first movie.
I thought you were talking about the beginning of this. No. I'm like, what are you talking about? There was no airplane.
Nothing was exciting in this movie. Then in the Temple of Doom when he fights the big guy, there's like the rock crutcher. Yeah. It's like, oh, what's going to happen? And then, I don't know, something happened in Last Crusade that was probably good.
Oh, the whole thing with the tank?
Yeah.
When they were fighting on top of the tank.
Yeah, there you go. So, like, yeah, that's happening. Yeah. It's exciting. This wasn't exciting because the ants weren't coming for him.
No,
they were just fighting.
Yeah. But he did manage to like kick him into the ants eventually, and he gets covered in ants, and they take him back to their
hill. They go in his mouth.
Yeah, it was gross. I didn't like it.
Rough go.
And he was still screaming, but they were going down his mouth. I'm like, how can you scream with all those ants in your mouth hole?
He was alive. They're dragging him. He's alive until he goes in the anthill. Get up. Stand up. They're ants.
There were too many.
No. No.
Well, they were probably biting him, and it hurts when ants bite you.
It hurt. Apparently, it doesn't do anything. Didn't do anything to Kate Blanchett.
It bit her in the hand. She was still able to climb a vine.
Yeah, she's doing just fine. It's like having a blanket over you. I mean, can you not get up when you have a blanket on you?
I get bit by an ant. I'm out for like a week. I'm like, ow, it hurts. I don't want to do anything.
Yeah. But yeah, it was dumb. So dumb.
Anyway, Marion shows up. She has already grabbed
get in the car.
She's already grabbed Mac and Mutt.
Yeah.
They're all three in the car. And then she finally comes back around and picks up Indy and Oxley. I was also like, Oxley, do something.
Yeah.
He's passed out apparently. He's just like, he can't do anything.
I'm tired.
He's like, I'm an old man. Just let me sleep. Let me sleep here. I sleep right here. He's using the crystal skull as a pillow while all this fighting's happening. But yes, they all get into the car.
She's like, I know where I'm going.
At this point, I guess all the ants are like, you know what? We got enough food to last us for a while. We're just going back into our anthills.
We got 2 whole guys here.
Because they show up with another truck and full of Russians, and they grab Kate Blanchett, and everything's fine. Yeah, the ants are gone. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I think as they were driving away, they were running over ants because juices kept hitting the camera. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it takes a while for all those ants to get back into the anthill.
They were all heading back in. They were like, "Oh, it's a long day. Oh no!"
I just got run over.
Oh, poor ants. They're the real victims here.
So anyway, they're in their car. Marion's like, "I've got an idea." Yeah, and they're like, "That's a cliff, Marion. You can't do that." So she drops him off the cliff, which I was already like, "They're in a boat car. Yeah, that's water."
But still, you don't drive off a cliff into the water.
They jumped off a plane.
I don't care what they've done. Doesn't make it right. It does not make it right.
They can do this. Come on. And she lands in a tree, and they slowly go down. Yeah. And go into the water, and then they just...
Which seems worse, because that tree would have torn up the bottom of that boat. Yeah. Then you get in the water and you sink immediately.
Yeah.
So...
I mean, we're about to get to another part that makes no sense anyway.
It's just non-stop stupid.
So they're in this boat. The Russians can't quickly follow them because they don't have another...
throw their hats down on the ground and stuff.
I guess they don't have another boat car, or they have to get it out of the anthill.
Yeah. Crash their boat car.
So they've got their little boat car in the water.
What if the ants started driving around that boat car?
Oh my gosh. That's the movie I want to see.
They just build themselves into a guy. Drive along.
Oh man. So anyway, they're in the car. They're going down the river. Oxley starts talking about 3 times it drops. 3 times it drops. And they're like, what does that mean?
What could this mean?
As they're coming up on a waterfall. Yeah. And they're like, oh no. And he's like, 3 times it drops. They go down this waterfall.
What does that mean after the first waterfall?
Yeah, they go down the waterfall. And he's like, what does that mean 3 times it drops? It's going to drop you down 3 waterfalls, you idiots.
They should not have survived the first one. And yet they survived 3 of them.
There are so many times in this movie where they're like, what does this mean? I'm like...
Y'all are so stupid.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm like, and it's usually Marion and Mutt. And I'm like...
Yeah, Marion just got so dumb.
Why are you so dumb?
I don't know why.
I'm like, I get it. Mutt, he did drop out of school.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why. But, I mean, come on.
Stay in school, kids. Don't be like Mutt.
Exactly. So yeah, 3 times it drops. So they drop down 3 waterfalls. The last one they just...
Each time they have to crawl back into the boat. Yeah. They're like, good thing that's not going to happen again.
And the last time they just fall out of the boat and they're like, it's gone.
Yeah. I think the boat got pretty destroyed.
Yeah. I mean, Marion was still holding the wheel.
Yeah.
So they make it to shore. They see there's this thing that looks like a skull or a face. Yeah. And there are waterfalls coming out of its eyes. Uh-huh. And the next thing is through eyes of tears. So it looks like eyes with tears. So they're like, we gotta go behind that waterfall. Yep. So that's where they head. Yep. And Indy's like, I have to go by myself. I have to return it.
Yeah. And he's like, it told me to.
It told me to.
And they're like, okay.
And then they all go.
Everybody goes. At no point does he have to do any of it by himself.
No.
So
and it's so funny. It's very much a Frodo and Sam situation where it's
I'll carry you.
No, where it's why did that sound like Forrest Gump?
I'll carry you, Bubba.
I mean, he did.
He did.
Carried him.
He carried him.
He carried.
to his death.
He was trying to save him.
He was. Shrimp.
I mean, he was already going to die by the time he was carrying him.
Yeah. Then something jumped up and bit him.
Yeah, something jumped up and bit me. Oh my god, we got to stop talking about Forrest Gump.
Anyway.
Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump. My name is Forrest Gump.
I forgot what I was even talking about. I was talking about Frodo and Sam.
Yeah, it's a Frodo and Sam moment.
Where he's like,
Frodo.
You're going alone.
You ain't got no legs, Frodo. Ice cream.
Frodo, ice cream. You ain't got no legs.
The crossover movie we all wanted.
Stop.
So what was the Frodo and Sam?
The whole thing where he's like, I'm going to Mordor alone. He's like, of course you are, and I'm going with you.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. How did we get so far off?
But they didn't even really say anything like that. It was just like, it told me to. So I was like, okay, well, he's going to go by himself. And then
they all go.
They were all just there.
They're all just there.
Okay. Such a weird moment.
Oh man. So anyway, they all head out. There's a bunch of murals and stuff in this place where they're walking around. They're talking about, there were sun worshippers first, but then someone came and it brought them tools and taught them irrigation and all this stuff.
He had a weird head.
Yep, and we were like, well, we weren't, but I was like, the Eternals.
Yes, you were.
And I was like, are there 10 of them? There were 13. So close.
Sad.
But,
another crossover we could have had.
Yep. But then these people start, climbing out of the walls again.
Yeah.
Guarding the place, I guess. And they start chasing them. And then you see back on shore, there's a tracker that someone has left there.
Yeah.
Who would have left
possibly be doing
a tracker there? Who
is it
has
Marion?
been known?
Is it Mutt?
Who is it? Could it be Oxley?
Oxley? Oh. Could it be the Denver Broncos?
None of these people have betrayed anyone else in this very
Everybody's
movie.
On the up and up.
Yeah. Anyway, so they run down this one pyramid and run up another pyramid. Think.
Running up that.
Stop it! I finally had that song out of my
head. Running with Oxley.
Stop. I literally
If I only could find an alien god.
Stop.
Give them to give me knowledge.
Quit.
So anyway.
So.
Yeah.
They do almost get captured by those people.
Yeah.
But Oxley
swinging that skull around.
Oxley brings out the skull and is like, don't touch us, we have the skull. Yeah. So they let him go. They go up.
They just okay, well, I guess we lose, guys.
Guess so. Let's pack it up and go home.
Yeah. We did our best.
I hope they packed it up and left, because what happens later, yikes. But they go up to the top of this other thing. There's an obelisk there, and they start taking the heads off of this obelisk, and sand starts coming out, and it starts sinking and everything.
Yep.
And
they fall through the sand.
They fall through the sand. They land on a staircase. The staircase pieces start going into the walls.
Yeah, it's a retractable staircase.
And there are people down there, dead bodies on spikes below.
Yep.
And it looks like some of the conquistadors and stuff.
Yep.
But staircases.
Before they go in there, here's something I didn't get.
Okay.
There's a torch out by the front doors or something, and he's like, "This was lit recently."
Used. I have no idea.
Who?
I have no idea. I have no clue.
This movie sucks, man. Anyway. I don't understand.
Because the only thing I can think of would be Oxley.
Yeah, but he didn't go that far.
No, because he would have returned it all the way, wouldn't he?
Yeah, because he didn't steal it, right?
He just found it.
Yeah.
Because he found it in
stole
Peru.
it? Do we know?
It was the
Conquistadors? Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Why'd they die?
I don't know.
Why'd they die?
I have no clue.
Why do people die?
I don't know. I don't know why they died. I can't remember.
I don't know, man. All right. What happened?
So, what happened? So they make it down there. Everything's good. They get to...
Well, that staircase, it looks like they're running out of steps. Everybody's up against the wall and they fall, and they're a foot from the ground. So
yeah, they're not.
They're all fine.
They're fine.
But then
Oh no.
Oxley drops the skull. It's like, oh no, where is it? We found it. It's fine. Everything's fine.
It's like, what was the point of this?
Like, yeah, just wasting our time.
The point of it was that Mutt saw that Marion and Indy were about to kiss.
Yeah.
And that gave him a chance to like throw a skeleton on Indy and say, hold this, so that he could grab the skull.
Yeah.
And keep his parents from kissing.
Yeah.
Because nobody wants to see that.
Yeah. We don't need any more mutts that are running around.
Get that mutt out of here. Oh, man. So they find, like, this treasure room kind of place.
Yeah.
And they're like, the aliens were archaeologists. Or the aliens, I mean, I guess the gods.
Yeah.
Because that's what they're calling them at this point.
Yeah.
They were archaeologists. Because it's, like, all of this stuff from, like, all of these ancient civilizations. Egyptian stuff. I think there were, like, some Chinese little things. Because, like, there were some of the...
Buddhists? Nope.
No, some of the soldiers, like the clay soldiers.
Oh, terracotta.
Yeah, terracotta. A bunch of stuff from different civilizations.
Yeah.
That they've just been collecting like their own little museum.
Yeah, it belongs in an alien museum.
So they see this gate and they use the skull to open it up.
Yep.
And it opens and there's like an antechamber and they walk in there. Antechamber. So they walk in there and there are 13 skeletons in a circle in there.
It's the Eternals.
Of course, one of them doesn't have a skull because that's where the crystal skull came from. So they're like, all right, we've got to put this skull back. And then Mac is like, hands up, I've got a gun.
Yeah.
I'm the bad guy. I've been sending out trackers so that the Russians can find us. I wasn't a double agent because Indy's like, you're a triple agent. And he's like, no, I was just pretending to be a double agent.
Yeah. I just like gold.
And of course, Cate Blanchett shows up.
Yeah.
And she's there and she's like, I'm going to return this skull and I'm going to get all of the knowledge.
Yeah.
So I just need everything.
So she returns the skull.
She does.
And then everything starts going crazy.
Well, Oxley starts speaking, and I put Mayan in my notes.
I think it was Mayan. I don't know, man.
I don't understand.
I don't know
anyway,
what to tell you.
So the alien wants to give them a big gift.
Yeah.
And Cate Blanchett's like, I want to know everything.
Everything.
And so then all weird stuff starts happening.
Yeah.
And Oxley's like, they're interdimensional beings.
Yeah, they're not aliens.
They're interdimensional
I forgot
beings.
this part, which doesn't make it any better.
No. They're still aliens to me.
Yeah, they're definitely aliens.
There's like this portal that opens up above them.
Yes.
And they're like, we got to get out of here.
They're in the gravitron.
Yeah.
Stuff starts spinning around them. The walls are crumbling. All the little alien skeletons start merging into one. Which made me wonder, how did they get the skull out of there in the first place if they were they sleeping?
I don't know.
Surely they wouldn't want someone to take their head.
I don't know.
What happened? How did they get out of there?
It does not explain.
It doesn't make sense. Man, I
don't know.
And did we mention that when they first came, they like taught them agriculture and stuff? And then, okay.
That's why I was like, oh, it was the Eternals.
Yeah. I just didn't know if we mentioned what all they taught them. But yeah, so I thought they were good, but were they always going to kill everybody? Because they just start sucking people up. They were going to suck everybody up.
Well, we don't know if those people are dead or not. They were sucked into an interdimensional portal.
Why?
Maybe they're going to show up in Indiana Jones 5. They're just going to... This portal's going to open up and these Russian soldiers are going to pop in and be like, oh my gosh, you will not believe what just happened to us.
Yeah, we have seen so much. We're so sorry for how we treated you. But it doesn't make... It doesn't make any sense.
I don't know.
And everybody gets out except the Russian soldiers. They suck up into whatever. Indian gang jump out the door, like perfectly timing it.
Yep.
Mac's able to get out.
And Mac was the first one out because he was like, I'm going out of here and I'm getting some gold.
I'm going to grab some gold.
Running out. But then he's too greedy.
Yeah.
He pulls a Benny in the mummy and he's too greedy and he gets caught.
Yeah.
And Indy tries to save him and he can't and he gets
sucked up
in there too.
But so then it just may be the worst effect. They like merge as the skeletons are merging. They're turning into a generic alien.
Yep.
And he like looks at her like, oh hey, I don't know.
Generic.
It's just
CGI alien that I hated.
Just a weird face. Like a weird look, and then he, like, sets her eyes on fire. Gave her too much knowledge. Yeah. I don't know.
And then she just disintegrates, and her ashes or whatever fly up into the portal.
Like, why'd you do that?
I don't know.
Did he know she was evil?
I don't know. I just put, "Bye, Kate Blanchett, I'll miss your terrible accent."
What a dumb ending.
I hated that CGI alien.
It was so... like, why did they merge them all? Like, you didn't need to.
No.
Anyway, so everybody's dead. India made it out and all that.
Yeah, all of the good guys made it out. There's like this water spout that takes them up to the top of something. I don't know. And they look out, and
the temple's like being flooded, the whole area.
Well, first, everything, like, it's something is coming out of the ground.
Yeah, everything's spinning.
The pyramid that was there just falls apart, crumbles, and then a spaceship just comes out of the ground, and then it just disappears.
Yeah, so why was there a spaceship if there was a portal? What was the portal doing? Shouldn't the portal be their means of transportation?
You would think so.
Why are they crashing these things everywhere if they got portals? They're not thinking with portals.
I don't know. But it just disappears. Everything, all the ground just falls back, and then it crashes like some of it was in like a valley kind of area, and then like the water from the river comes in and floods it all.
And they're like, wow, they just sweep away their footprints.
Yeah.
They're like mesmerized by them.
Like a broom.
It's stupid.
And then they're like, the treasure wasn't gold, it was knowledge.
Which
their treasure is knowledge.
Yeah. Which apparently kills people.
I'm like, I do not feel any more knowledgeable than I did coming into this, but okay.
Yeah. Feel free to go back and tell that to everybody that you found aliens.
Yeah.
And we got flooded and the spaceship left.
The spaceship disappeared and every other witness died and was sucked into a portal. Whoops.
Knowledge. That's so dumb. But John Hurt's okay now.
That's
he
true.
Can talk normally.
Hey, good on him.
That was probably the best thing that happened.
Yeah.
That he's
no longer insane.
Yeah. Good for him.
He got his faculties back.
Yeah. Cut to wedding.
Well, first.
I don't know.
Well, first you have Jim Broadbent. He's walking down the hallway.
Oh, yeah.
He passes by a door. It shows that Henry Jones Jr. is now an associate dean.
Yay.
So
he did
good for him. Don't know if that's what he wanted, but
who knows?
Then we have the wedding.
Yeah.
Indy and Marion. They're finally getting married. They get married.
Yeah. Nothing happened.
Everybody's good. John Hurt's there. He's cut his hair.
Yeah.
He's looking fly.
Looking fly as hell.
Mm-hmm.
And then another great moment that everyone will love forever.
Everybody's congratulating them.
Yeah.
Mike goes over. He goes to grab his Polaroid camera.
Yeah.
He's about to take a picture of them, of the happy moment. The doors fly open.
A big wind.
Some wind just comes out of nowhere. And and the wind comes into the chapel, and it lifts up the hat, Indiana's hat off of the hat rack, and it falls to the ground, and it
right in front of Mutt.
Floats over right in front of Mutt.
Yeah, it has chosen him.
Oh, he's gonna be the new Indiana. Yeah. So he picks up the hat, and he's about to put it on his head, and Indy comes over and is like, no. And puts it on himself. And walks out, and that's pretty much how it ends.
Yeah. Just ending on a dumb note.
Mm-hmm.
This movie was worse than I remember.
Yeah, it was pretty ridiculous.
I did not enjoy it. I didn't feel like there was any real tension. It wasn't exciting. The scrapes they got into were dumb. I didn't feel like they were threatened really ever at all. It's just not good.
There was a lot of CGI, and a
lot of bad CGI, which they even tried to go minimal on the CGI.
Yeah.
And still.
But it's so annoying because when you watch the other ones, all the practical effects are so good.
Yeah.
And they're so memorable.
Yeah.
I did not, because I remember what they look like, what all these, the Nazis with their faces melting off.
Yeah.
And the guy turning into Christopher Lloyd, basically. I remember these things.
That guy getting his heart ripped out.
Yeah, exactly. Could not have told you what happened to Kate Blanchett.
Yeah, I did remember what happened to Kate Blanchett.
I mean, I remembered the aliens.
Yeah.
And I remembered, the room with all of them.
Yeah. I remember she got too much knowledge and she got set on fire.
I was like, I'm assuming something bad happens to her, but I don't remember it. It was just not memorable.
I forgot all about the ants.
I did not forget about the ants. I knew there were ants. I remember
the monkeys, yeah.
I forgot about the monkeys.
Really? That's like the thing I can't get out of my head.
I remembered the sword fighting, which I was okay with. I think I'd forgotten
about that.
But oh my gosh, I hated that CGI alien so much.
Yeah, it was so stupid. Fake. It did, and just
I feel like
there was no payoff.
I feel like the aliens in Close Encounters of the Third Kind looked more realistic than that.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
I don't even know if you've seen Close Encounters.
I have, okay. I don't remember them that well, but yeah.
I mean, basically, you don't even see them, really. They're like... Yeah. Most of the time, they're just in profile or in shadow and everything, but...
Yeah. And really, I mean... What did they get out of it? What did anybody get out of this? Like, nothing. The aliens should have done something interesting.
The aliens weren't the bad guys, though. They were just kind of there.
They kind of were, though. They kind of seemed kind of evil when they're just trying to, like, destroy the whole thing and not really care if anybody gets out.
Yeah, it doesn't explain why they're suddenly... Maybe they were angry because of the whole... Somebody stole their head.
Maybe, but they returned it. These people are the ones that returned it.
Yeah.
And when he originally came, he's like, oh man, I'm going to help out these humans. I like these humans. Here's all this stuff. Oh, these humans were mean. I'm going to set this lady on fire and suck up her friends.
I don't know.
This is a bad movie. I really hope Dial of Destiny is better than this.
I know. And I know that there have already been people that are like, oh, it sucks. And I'm like, please don't tell me that because I just want to go into it without hearing that.
There won't be any mutt, though.
That's true.
Spielberg does not like Shia LaBeouf. They had a real big falling out.
He said some things about this movie. And honestly, they were true things that he said about, about it. But it did not go over well.
Kind of. He blamed himself for it not looking good or whatever. But it wasn't all his fault.
No.
Anyway, I won't mind if nobody from this, you want to see Marion.
Yeah.
I want to see Harrison.
Mm-hmm, of course. Well, I mean, it'd be kind of weird if it was Indiana Jones without him.
Yeah. Shame we can't have Sean Connery.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be in this, but he was like, nah, I'm retired.
Yeah.
That was the right move.
It was.
Solo was supposed to be in this, but he was like, nah, because he would have just shown up for the wedding.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, nah, that's kind of cheap.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. But
Solo will be in the new one, so.
Yeah, Solo will return.
Yeah.
In Dial of Destiny.
Oh, man.
The guy fights at the airplane that gets cut up in the propellers. They thought about bringing him back, but he died before the movie. Aww. So that's sad. But yeah, I don't know.
Hopefully the next one will be good.
We'll hope.
Gosh.
We'll hope.
I hope so. It's got some good people in it, which, I mean, this has Cate Blanchett.
Is that Cate Blanchett? You would think it'd be good?
You would.
Nope. All right, well, let's get to our snack.
Okay.
Because we need a good pick-me-up.
Oh, Lord. I don't know if this is going to be a good pick-me-up.
So, what do we got, and why do we got it?
Okay, hold on a second. We have satellite wafers.
All right.
Okay, so back when we were going to do, I think
Space
it was when
Jam.
when we were going to do Space Jam, we were trying to find something kind of space-themed, alien-themed, because it was going to be aliens that come to,
play basketball. Yeah.
And we just couldn't find anything.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I kept seeing were these satellite wafers.
Uh-huh.
I was like, I've never heard of them.
Yeah, I've never seen them in my life.
I've never seen them. They've been around for I don't know how long. So we couldn't find them.
Yeah.
Because nobody saw them.
Yeah.
You have to order them online and everything. Yeah. And it was we didn't have time for all that stuff.
Right.
And then we happened to be in Cracker Barrel not too long ago. It must have been several months ago.
Yeah, it was a while back. And that's when we got the Clark bar or something.
We've been in there since then too.
We got a couple things. We got the Astro Pups in there.
Yeah. But I remembered seeing them and going, oh, they're those little wafer things that we wanted to try at one point. And then I was like, this might be the best opportunity.
It's the time for it.
Because they look like little UFOs.
Yep, they look like what came out of that temple.
Exactly. And they're from the 50s, which is when this took place.
Yep.
It's the perfect time to try some satellite wafers.
Yep.
You are notoriously not a wafer boy.
Not a wafer fan unless it's really covered in chocolate. Like a Kit Kat. Even then, it's not my favorite.
Every time we have a Kit Kat, you complain about how it's not
I don't complain about it. I just don't understand how it's people's favorite candy bar. That's ridiculous. And if it is your favorite candy bar, you're lying to yourself. But Nutty Buddies are good. Kit Kats are good. They're good. They're just not top tier. What other wafer stuff's good? What else? They're
just like regular wafer ones that they have like they don't have chocolate. It's just...
Yeah, those suck. I'm talking about good stuff.
Well, I like them. I like wafers.
I know, you're a wafer fan. This is all in my opinion. So, yeah. But I've never had them filled with tiny little candies.
Yes, they're filled with assorted candy beads.
I'm kind of excited about that. I like things in other things, like little things.
I don't know why.
I don't know, you had a little coy smile look on your face.
I was just trying to think of what else you could be talking
Kinder
about.
Eggs, those are fun. Like, you have little things packaged inside of there. I think that's fun. I think it's a good idea. So, here we go.
Okay.
Oh, like Blow Pops. You got a sucker. You got a little bubble gum in the middle. Tootsie Roll Pops. I love it.
Okay.
Now we got wafers.
With beads in them.
Beads.
Candy beads. These are edible. It clearly says so on the package.
We are not poisoning ourselves.
Make sure you have one that has stuff in it. Okay, there we go.
Oh, yeah. Let's get that shake on the mic. All right.
One of the things on the back says that they have often been a topic of conversation since the consumers discovered you can eat the whole thing. Because I guess they thought that they couldn't eat the wafer, but you can.
Wow.
Maybe that's why they had to put on them that they're edible.
I like that it's two different colors.
Not all of them are, but mine has blue and on one side and pink on the other.
Yeah, I got an orange and white, which is like, oh man, maybe it's a creamsicle. Probably not.
Ooh, because that's a pink and pink.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
but is that like the norm or is that an accident?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's the question. Do we have the accidents?
Don't know. So
I don't know how to eat this.
I know. I'm like, the thing is, do you bite it and then eat the candy and then eat the rest, or do you just stick it all in at once and just chew it all up?
I think we'll have to try it both ways.
Okay.
I'm gonna go halfsies.
Me too.
Oh, it's like I accidentally ate paper.
Oh, that wafer's nasty.
That's a bad wafer. Remember how I said we should try it both ways? Maybe one way's fine.
Yeah, they're not great.
Give me another one.
Okay.
I'm going all at once.
I guess I will too.
If you're going to have them, don't do just wafer. I don't know. This one doesn't really have much in it.
Some of them have it. You can see them in there. They're just like stuck.
Uh-huh.
So that's what this one is.
Can I get another one? This one doesn't have much in it. Or it's all stuck in it. Maybe it's all stuck.
Oh my gosh.
I want to give it the best shot I can.
Okay.
Okay, that's better. Here we go.
All in. Still a terrible wafer.
That sucks, man. It's bad.
The candy inside's not bad, but it's just not great either.
It's just pure straight up sugar.
That's why I like it.
Yeah.
And yet you keep eating them.
Well, I had that one out.
There's something called a garbage can. You can throw it in there, you know?
You know how many people would kill for these?
No one.
People starving are like...
I'm good. I'll starve, thanks. I'd rather die.
Listen, I've eaten a lot of paper and styrofoam in my days. It's like, if you ever had a styrofoam cup and you're kind of bored, and you're just chewing on the rim.
You just start like biting pieces off the rim. Yeah.
And that's kind of what this feels like. It's so papery. It's not good.
Well, good news is we have plenty of them.
We do. You should take these to work, see if anybody eats them.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I mean, perfect movie for these to go with. Just disappointing.
Disappointment all around.
Oh, yikes. Oh, they're from Belgium? Come on, Belgium. You're better than this.
Are they from Belgium?
It says product of Belgium.
Wow.
Okay, what are you going to rate these?
I'm going to give them like a generous 1.5.
Yeah, I mean, the candy inside is maybe the only thing that kind of saves it. I think maybe if it was like runts in there, kind of like not that big, of course, but like
or nerds.
Or nerds.
In there?
Oh man, you get some nerds in there, that'd be good. And make them crispier wafers.
Yeah, that wafer is nasty.
Not paper wafers.
This is not the kind of wafer I'm thinking.
No,
this is not like a Kit Kat kind of wafer.
It is not at all.
It's not. It's way thinner than that, and the thinner it is, the worse it is.
Yeah,
because it's like you bite into it at first, and it was kind of like chewy.
Yeah,
which was not expected. It was not crisp at all. They look like they're so crisp.
Yeah,
they're not.
I can't. It's like you feel like you're about to make a spitball or something. You're like chewing up that paper. Honestly,
would probably work better as a spitball than as a food.
Yeah, I'm also gonna give it a 1.
Okay.
Well, you gave it a 1.5. I'm giving it a 1. Whew, bad job all around, guys. All right, well, what's a worse candy than this? Is there anything? I bet there's not. Black licorice.
I was gonna say, I feel like we've had a couple of ones before.
Yeah. What have we had this? I'd want to go back and try them again. And compare them to this. Because we have a new low, I feel like. But let us know on Twitter at HavingFunCast or on Facebook at HavingFunPod.
Or you can send us an email at havingfunpod@gmail.com.
Go have fun. Don't need to get any satellite wafers. And we'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.